Tonight on CTV News at 11:30, mass layoffs at Algoma Steel, which as tariffs change the steelmaking landscape.
It's very devastating when you live in a community that doesn't have a lot of job opportunities.
Reaction to the news continues to drop as the city braces for what's next. The provincial government is using its new powers to make changes. And the city of Timmins is closing a downtown laneway. Officials say safety issues needed to be addressed.
Thought I owed it to the people of that community and to take a leadership role.
The provincial government is using its new powers to make changes. And the city of Timmins is closing a downtown laneway.
We've identified that the laneway is being used for things we don't want it to use for, which is putting at risk the residents and businesses.
Officials say safety issues needed to be addressed.
CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for staying up with us. It's been a difficult day in Sault Ste. Marie. Algoma Steel announcing 1,000 workers will be laid off in the new year. Politicians of all political stripes have been weighing in. The company adding tariffs changed the steelmaking landscape. As a result of these pressures, Algoma has been forced to conclude its long history as an integrated steel manufacturer and had to close its blast furnace and coke making operations in early 2026. Algoma will transition to electric arc furnace steel making at that time, a year earlier than previously anticipated or planned. CTV's Corey Nordstrom has more tonight.
Algoma Steel officials are citing impacts from tariffs as the reason behind the layoff notices that were sent to 1,000 employees to begin the work week. Those workers will be without a job March 23rd of next year.
Imagine it was you and Christmas was 25 days away, right? I find it hard to believe that we couldn't have waited at least another month.
It's very devastating when you live in a community that doesn't have a lot of job opportunities and you're finding out that your job is going to end.
In a statement to CTV News, an Algoma Steel spokesperson says, in part, "We fully understand how unsettling this news is for our employees, their family, and the broader Sault Ste. Marie community. We are committed to working closely with federal and provincial partners, union leadership, and community agencies over the coming months to provide resources, support, and transition assistance to all affected employees." The Sault's mayor says now is the time for action on local projects like building a deep sea port that could employ many of the soon-to-be laid-off workers.
We're going to make sure that those files are in front of the Premier's office, in front of the Prime Minister's office, so that the attention that they deserve is going to be given to them.
The Liberals keep saying how much they're going to support the Canadian steel industry. I think now is a real good opportunity for them to show us what they're going to do and how they're going to keep the steel industry in Canada strong.
With today's layoff announcement, Slater expects the government will now approve funding for retraining programs for these workers. He hopes to have an action center set up in the city by the end of January to support those soon to be laid off. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
During question period in the House of Commons this afternoon, Opposition Leader Pierre Poilievre had this to say about the 1,000 job cuts.
The Prime Minister looked them in the eye and promised he would protect their jobs, that he would negotiate a win, and I quote, have a deal by July 21st, but it was a bait and switch that is costing people their livelihoods. On top of that, Liberals are hammering this steel mill with a higher industrial carbon tax. Isn't it bad enough that the Prime Minister broke his promise on trade? Why is he going ahead with an industrial carbon tax that will kill even more steel jobs?
My team and I have been in contact with Algoma's leadership team. We absolutely have every confidence in the Algoma workers as they're going through this hardship, and we will make sure that we support them as they're developing new products and also accessing new markets. We'll fight for these jobs, Mr. T.
Regional politicians have also been weighing in tonight, with Nipissing MPP and Jobs Minister Vic Fideli writing in part, "We've provided Algoma a $100 million loan to keep as many workers on the job as possible. We are activating a local power center to provide enhanced supports for impacted workers, including retraining programs to get people into new jobs as quickly as possible." Terry Sheehan, Sault Ste. Marie Algoma Member of Parliament, writes in his statement, I am in contact with federal government departments and agencies that will directly respond to the needs of impacted workers and expedite any federal services required during these difficult times. Meanwhile, big news out of Parry Sound tonight. Ontario's Minister of Education is stepping in and taking over the Near North District School Board. CTV's Eric Tashner has more.
Time is up for the Near North District School Board. It's now under control by the province.
The mess that this board is in, I just thought I owed it to the people of that community and to take a leadership role.
The embattled school board has been making headlines for months. A ministry review cited the divided and inexperienced school board for its lack of communication to parents after the $58 million Parry Sound mega school wouldn't be ready by September, its deep-rooted dysfunction, its absence of leadership, and unprofessional conduct of Director of Education Craig Miles.
Bringing in somebody with a fresh set of eyes and can actually follow the proper procedures would be a breath of fresh air.
Elementary school students had to start the year at another school, while high school students switched to remote learning and are now being taught in a half-demolished school.
With the Near North District School Board specifically, yes, intervention needed to happen.
The Ministry of Education issued 15 binding directions to the school board, but the board failed to meet 10 of them within the set timelines.
Both disappointed and not surprised, if you will. Disappointed in the fact that we had the current trustees and administration were working hard.
Calandra will soon announce a new interim director of education. He's also sending in officials with the Halton District School Board to give an impartial progress report on the school build. He's also appointing a professional construction manager to assume responsibility.
We're going to get it back on track, and you have my word, we won't let this go until everything is fixed and you have a board that is focused on student achievement.
It's a dark day for education in the Near North.
Locally elected school board trustees are now dismissed. A soon-to-be-named supervisor will take over in the new year. In the interim, Calandra will oversee the school board.
This is a direct assault on local democracy. He wants to take over the school boards across the province.
Aspen and Miles were set to appear before Parry Sound Town Council this Thursday to update the public on the construction progress. In light of this new development, that meeting is now cancelled. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
NDP leader Marit Stiles saying today the decision to take over the Near North District School Board, quote, might have been called for, but still expressed concern about it, saying to reporters today, I would rather see the government take the role of trustees a little more seriously, adding she would rather see strong local representation than the government stepping in. A big heads up to those who need to drive through the Schumacher area in the morning. The city of Timmins is instituting 2 new one-way streets in the community. Croatia Avenue from Grant to Batacchio will be one-way westbound, and Batacchio from Croatia to 4th will be one-way southbound. Council approved the plan back in late October after it was determined the streets were too narrow for two-way and parking. A major milestone of the weekend for a long-term care facility in North Bay. Officials at Castle Home say 142 residents moved into the new facility yesterday. The building had been under construction for the past 3 years at a cost of $120 million. The new home has more than 260 beds, 16 of which are beds for Indigenous residents, and 8 more are special needs. Sudbury city officials have failed to convince a provincial arbitrator to end the practice of awarding the city's 142 staff who work at the fire department the same pay as the city police. As a result, first-class firefighter wages will increase from over $110,000 they were paid as of January 1st, 2024 to $119,000 as of January 1st, 2026. In his decision, arbitrator Matthew Wilson wrote that police and fire pay rates have been linked in Sudbury since at least 2004. While in some years firefighters made more and vice versa, since 2020 the differences have been less than $300 per year.
This is standard collective bargaining that we do with our fire association in particular. Our fire services, just like police, don't have the right to strike because they're an essential service. So at times we end up going to interest arbitration to get a resolution on some of the areas we don't agree on. In this case, we received a decision, and some of the positions that we put forward were successful and others were not. which again is pretty normal. And frankly, at this point, we're just glad to have a decision and we're able to move forward.
Lichterman adds one of the wins that the city wants to highlight is moving the arbitrator to their position in the areas of calculating and payout of overtime hours. She says this will ultimately save taxpayers money. Timmins City Council has decided to close one of the laneways in the downtown. Over the years, it's posed a safety concern to business owners and the public. CTV's Lydia Chubak reports.
This laneway that runs parallel to 3rd Avenue between Spruce Street South and Pine Street South will soon be a gated area.
I spent 6 years trying to make that a better place.
Timmins councillor Corey Robbins says efforts to make the laneway safe have all been exhausted, and gating it is what he and business owners want.
Over time and talking to people, I realized that the issue is more than just the people down there. And I shifted my focus from taking something away from someone to giving it to somebody else. So I can present this opportunity as opposed to saying, I want to deny someone something, which is a kind of a different thing.
Councillor Steve Black also agrees with addressing the safety issues that have arisen from this laneway, where illegal drugs have been consumed, fires have been started, and vandalism has frustrated business owners.
We've identified that the laneway is being used for things we don't want it to use for, which is putting at risk the residents and businesses, and we have a solution that the majority of the businesses in the area are in favor of at least going down and seeing if it works.
At a recent meeting, council voted in favor of closing off the laneway, and a temporary gate will be installed at each entrance until a more permanent solution or proposal is reached. Councillor Bill Gazdanovich is the only member of council who does not support closing the laneway.
It's all walls on both sides. There's about 2 opportunities for what you call so-called business. 2 opportunities that I can see.
City staff are now working on the request for proposal process. Respondents will have until the end of March to submit their ideas on how they'd use the area. And whomever leases a part of the laneway would have to take care of snow cleaning. Once the area is closed, the city would no longer be responsible for snow removal unless there were an emergency. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
Time now for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, Rick will have your full weather forecast. For now, let's take a look at some weather warnings we have in place tonight. That area in yellow, that is the big problem area. That is a snow squall warning currently in effect. It just extended to encompass Espanola and Sudbury in the last couple minutes. 20 to 40 centimeters of snow, heavy blowing snow, visibility reduced. Don't go out unless you have to. Here's a look at the current temperatures. -11 in Kapuskasing, -2 down on the island. Rick will have the details after this.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
We've got some flurry activity overnight in northeastern Ontario. You can see our forecast radar. Some areas will get higher than usual accumulation, but we'll keep a close eye on that. That system moving in, calling for periods of snow on Wednesday. So again, more snow in the month of December, the early stages. So again, winter here to stay. Sudbury Nickel Belt 7-day forecast, chance of flurries for tomorrow -3, periods of snow on Wednesday -4, sunshine on Thursday at -10, chance of flurries for Friday and Saturday. Sunday, clear skies, 13 degrees, but -13, but turning colder. Meanwhile, in Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, chance of flurries for tomorrow -3, some flurry activity Wednesday. Chance of flurries on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, -5 and -6, your daytime highs. Then turning colder on Sunday, some cloud cover at -8. Normally, you should be sitting at around 0 for this time of the year. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, chance of flurries for tomorrow, -5, -7, flurry activity on Wednesday. -15 Thursday, some sunshine in the forecast, but colder. Friday, chance of flurries, more of the same Saturday. And Sunday, -17, your daytime high with the sunshine. So again, high pressure system, those sunny skies and colder weather. Temiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake, chance of flurries for tomorrow -2. Some flurry activity on Wednesday -1, -13 Thursday. Friday, chance of flurries, more of the same on Saturday, -3, -9, your daytime highs. Then turning colder, -14 with the sunshine come Sunday. Normally, you should be sitting at -4. How about North Bay and West Nipissing? Flurries -1 for tomorrow. Periods of snow Wednesday -4, -12 on Thursday. Sunny skies. Friday, chance of flurries -8, -7 on Saturday with the chance of flurries. Sunday, some sun, some cloud, but again, -13 your daytime high. Take a look at the evening temperatures ranging anywhere from -12, -16, -18, and -19. Ian Campbell, some colder weather approaching northeastern Ontario. Once we get rid of the chance of flurries or a little bit of snow or periods of snow, get ready for that. The colder weather will be here to stay. Back to you on the desk.
Thanks so much, Rick. Well, the Elgin Street Mission began its annual Mission 31 campaign tonight. Every night in December, different local community groups are volunteering at the food bank, serving hot dinners to help everyone have a homemade meal. The mission tells CTV News more than 31 groups have offered their time, allowing the Elgin Street Mission to open for some breakfasts with help from the extra support.
With the cost of living going up more, we're seeing those young families. And so we serve between, on a regular night, we usually aim for 200. On other nights, sometimes that's 250. So there are increases, of course. It's very cold out tonight. And so with the temperatures dropping, we see more people wanting to access.
The community and sponsors have donated more than $31,000 for the Mission 31 campaign. The holiday season is here, bringing joy, gifts, and of course, countless lights and decorations. But experts say what should be a time of cheer can turn dangerous if electrical safety is overlooked. The Electrical Safety Authority, which promotes electrical safety to the public in Ontario, says its recent report shows that 94% of product-related electrical incidents involve products that were not approved, leading to electrical shocks or risk of fire. Representatives say this concern increases during the holidays with more gifts and decorations.
The holidays, that's the time that people do get out their old lights, their old electrical decorations that have been in storage, possibly in your garage or in your basement for the last 11 months. So please check to make sure that the cords aren't frayed, that they're still in good condition.
LaRose adds to look for a recognized Canadian certification mark on all electrical items. The Canadian Olympic curling trials are now over in Halifax, and 2 Northerners are heading across the pond this winter.
The pin. You need to hit, roll to the pin. How's that? And it's off to Italy.
Brad Jacobs of Sault Ste. Marie and his Calgary-based team held off Mads Dunstone's Winnipeg crew 6-5 in a thrilling final on Saturday. Jacobs won the best-of-3 championship 2-0.
We have such good systems in place on this team, and our preparation is one of the things that gives us our confidence. It's probably the biggest reason why we were able to win the trials. So we've got a really great system in place to prepare. Won't be doing anything different. Just continue to work hard and try to be healthy. We want to make sure that, physically, mentally, emotionally going into the games, we're checking off all the little boxes.
And the hands come out. Rachel Holman will go to Cortina.
With Sudbury's Tracy Fleury playing third, defeated Christina Black of Halifax 12-3 Saturday to punch their ticket to the Winter Games. They won the best-of-3 series 2-0. Fleury and squad will begin play February 12th at the Cortina Curling Olympic Stadium. Well, for the first time, Yes Theatre in Sudbury is taking part in Giving Tuesday, and this year it's making the theatre more financially accessible for everyone. With $8,500 in donations, Yes is setting aside 600 seats for community groups and individuals to have separately priced tickets at the booth for their 2026 shows.
We are profoundly locally driven, and it can't just be for those who could afford it. And because the theatre is a very expensive venture, right? Some of our large musicals cost upwards of $500,000 to produce. And we want to make sure that everyone can come here, can take in the magic of the theatre, have their lives changed, step outside of their busy or complicated lives for an afternoon or an evening, and be moved by the wonderful power of music and art and theatre. And that's what we want to make accessible and available.
All donations to Yes Theatre are going to be matched by Licking Toyota up to $10,000. Well, there's plenty to come here on CTV News. For now, let's go to a live shot of the Sudbury Water Tower. This shot courtesy of the Sudbury Wolf Sports and Entertainment Company. Despite the snow, it's all lit up in red tonight in support of World AIDS Day. World AIDS Day is observed every year December 1st in an effort to shine a light on the HIV and AIDS epidemic and to show support for those living with the disease. Stay with us. You're watching CTV Northern Ontario. It's been 1 month since the City of Greater Sudbury centralized services at Energy Court, where a nonprofit operates a 24-hour warming center. CTV's Angela Campbell has this update.
I think the main hope is that it's not a very cold winter.
The Go Give project operates this warming center 24 hours a day, serving between 100 to 150 people daily.
So we do have a significant chunk that does visit the center, but again, not everybody frequents Energy Court by itself. There could be various reasons for that. But whoever is in the vicinity, they have been accessing the center and have been utilizing the services.
They're usually at capacity each night, a challenge Farouk expects will continue throughout the winter.
If somebody does decide to leave, it does open up a spot for somebody to come in. And then depending on the nights, we do offer hand warmers and things like that at the door as well. So while people are waiting, they're not just out in the elements by themselves.
The warming center also includes space for more centralized social service supports, where individuals connect with client navigators on needs like housing, food programs, or mental health supports. Given it's only been a month since the changes, the city says right now it's monitoring feedback and activities at Energy Court.
And we'll look at changes to programming or supports as needed. There are some challenges certainly as individuals are grouped together, and we're looking at just ways in which we can support them.
There's a meeting later this week between the city and Go Give to discuss how they can better serve the individuals living in the nearby encampment. One of the challenges Farouk says has cropped up over the past month is the need for more supplies at the warming center. He says donations of coffee, bread, prepackaged snacks, hand warmers, and emergency blankets are always welcome. Angela Campbell, CTV News, Sudbury.
A new report released today shows food bank use in Ontario is at an all-time high and could put more pressure on services which are already struggling. More than 1 million people across the province used a food bank in the past year. In all, there were more than 8.7 million visits and 1 in 4 visitors were employed. The report warns of a ripple effect. With so many people relying on food banks, the province should expect to see a rise in homelessness, extensive pressure on healthcare, and additional community insecurity. The Sault Ste. Marie Public Library is bringing back a popular seasonal initiative to combat the cold and help the city's most vulnerable. The 4th annual Giving Tree program is now underway, offering free winter accessories like hats, gloves, and scarves to anyone in the community who needs them. Everyone is welcome to donate new or gently used items to help fill the tree at both the main and North Branch locations.
The library takes in a lot of people because we have a lot of free programs. It's people that don't necessarily come from a higher income family. So there is a need in a lot of cases for people to have warm mitts, warm coats, hats. So the tree started that you can come and donate whatever you like for the tree. And there's a lot of handmade items, handmade hats and handmade mitts. And some people will donate quite a bit of items.
Items that have not been taken by December 30th will be donated to community shelters and local organizations. Grocery chain Metro is providing non-perishable breakfasts to 5 schools in Ontario for the holiday break, and 2 of them are Sudbury schools. These bagged breakfasts will allow all students at Lansdowne Public School and Princess Anne School to have access to healthy, free breakfasts. These bags will ensure that kids have access to a quick meal when not attending school.
Community members, our families are always grateful for the Breakfast Club program and the snack programs that is offered at the Rainbow District schools. And so this is just a great way to continue that. So we're very thankful for Metro for allowing that to happen.
Officials at Metro say that 96% of Ontarians believe that every child deserves a little magic, so each kit will also include a surprise. Finally tonight, speaking of giving, it was a chilly but beautiful night last night for a visit from the holiday train. This was the scene as the annual tradition from the folks at CKPC rolled into Rudder Station in French River. Authorities closed the highway so residents could enjoy performances from Jade Eagleson and Tegan Gaze. It was in French River for about 6 performances before it carried on to Sudbury. A cash donation of $4,000 was also given to the area food bank. It was a fun night, but really cold. That takes us to the end of our newscast this Monday night. For the latest news anytime, remember you can head to our website, CTVNewsNorthernOntario.ca. You can also download our CTV News app. Thanks for watching. Good night.